We here at Super Sports are set for the final regular season broadcast of the 1996 season from the Carrier Dome today. This past year has been full of exciting plays on SU's home field. Sophomore Casey Powell following up a spectacular freshman season with a big year as a midi this season, with great plays like that behind-the-back shot. There have been some rough spots to this season. 3 losses. The Orangemen ranked number 6 coming in. They probably won't be in the top 4. The senior class has come through with big plays like long-stick tackling Rourke Denver scoring against Towson earlier this year in March. And the converted defensive midi showed us a thing or two about hitting as well, laying out one of the Tigers. Another one of the seniors saying so long is Captain Jim Morrissey from Skaneateles, the team's leading scorer with 51 points. Close defense was a concern after losing 3 All-Americans, but the unit has gelled pretty well this year. Another question mark was in goal. Sophomore Jason Gebhardt had never started a game before this season, but he has come through also. And in addition to the departing seniors, the future looks great also. Casey Powell has 2 more years at attack or midfield. We know he's going to be a big-time player for the Orangemen next season. Right now, though, the matter at hand. Today, it's Syracuse and UMass on the SU campus from the Carrier Dome right here on Super Sports. We are set for college lacrosse here on Super Sports. It's the UMass Minutemen coming in with a 6-4 record against the Orangemen coming in at 8-3. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Super Sports coverage of SU lacrosse. This is Dave Ryan alongside former SU star Paul Gate. And you talk about emotional moments. 9 SU seniors playing in their final home game. Paul, what's it like? What's going through your mind when you hit the turf for the final time?
Well, you know, it's a very emotional game and a big game. It's the last time you're going to play in the Carrier Dome, and it's a lead into the playoffs of your senior year. You know, usually you have a lot of family and friends in for this game, and it's just a big emotional game.
This is a very big game for both teams. Syracuse comes in ranked number 6. Meanwhile, UMass at number 12. Both teams desperately need a victory here to secure playoff position. Let's take a look at the USILA poll there, Paul.
Well, yeah, you see Syracuse at 6 with Princeton, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and Johns Hopkins ahead of them. All those teams can beat you at any given time. I mean, this year has been a tough year. Each team has won and lost to each other, so it's going to be a difficult road.
All right, talk about domination. The Orangemen certainly have manhandled the Minutemen in the past. For more on that, we go down to our sideline reporter, Beth Moen, standing by.
Thank you very much, Dave. As you mentioned, it has been dominance for Syracuse in this series over UMass. You have to go back to 1981 for the last time that the Minutemen defeated the Orange. And you've got to go back to 1976 in the pre-Carrier Dome days when UMass last won here in Syracuse. They beat the Orange over at Coyne Field. So it's been 20 years since UMass has won in this city. And, of course, a big game for them. If they can beat Syracuse, their playoff hopes will be much better. We'll be right back to tip it up from the Carrier Dome. The face-off coming your way right after this.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Carrier Dome on the campus of Syracuse University. We're getting set for today's NCAA lacrosse game between Syracuse and UMass. Let's check out the Minutemen starting lineup. And look how they stack up. First of all, on attack, he's a good one. Brendan Glass, potential All-American, along with Buddy Hoffman and Ken Susi. On the midfield, we'll see 3 players without a lot of experience in Negus, Del Percio, and also Chris Grandy. Hergott, Drum, McDonald on D with the long sticks. And the goalie, John Kozalakis, is a sophomore. They're playing for head coach Greg Cannella in his second season with a record of 13-10. His winning percentage, as you see, at .565 so far for the Minutemen. And for the Syracuse University Orangemen, the defending national champs. On attack, Cavett, Morrissey, and Doug Jackson from JD High School. Casey Powell, Matt Kutaya getting a start, the freshman from Homer, and Andy Sheritz at midfield as well will be on the first unit. Smiley, Christian Fotopoulos, and Rourke Denver will play on the long stick. In front of the goaltender, Jason Gebhardt, the sophomore from West Genesee, and they are all playing, of course, for the legend, Hall of Fame coach Roy Simmons Jr. in his 26th season, 3rd all-time on the win list, and we're underway. Toby Price has done a great job on faceoffs all year long, trying to win one early for the Orangemen. Morrissey controlling for Syracuse, his first shot, just deflected. And it goes a little bit wide and kept alive by the Orange. So quick action, Paul Gate, early on for Syracuse, applying some early pressure.
Yeah, the pace is fast here to start. SU wants to come down and put in one early and be up and play their style of game.
Kozalakis, the goaltender for UMass, already getting an early test with a nice save. Brendan Glass, number 45, is a player to watch on attack. He is a good one. Ken Susi, number 5, acts more as a feeder than an actual shooter. But Glass is their finisher. Buddy Hoffman, number 20, also one of the top players on attack in the East. number 2 scorer on the team. Eric Bailey, 32, handling against Toby Price. Fotopoulos coming over to try to put a hammer on Bailey. And UMass, very patient in its setup, will reset. Buddy Hoffman has it. Casey Costello at the top of the box is number 9. They like to slow it down. And we know Coach Greg Ganella uses several lines of midfields even early in the game. And we've seen 2 or 3 different players at midi early on.
They're going to slow it down and try and make Syracuse make the mistake. Syracuse is going to put some pressure on the players outside, especially, you know, the short sticks are going to try and match up and take away the one-on-one. So, you know, look for Syracuse to put some pressure on and try not to make any mistakes.
Chris Gran on the near side. Matt Alexander is watching him. Gran trying to get a step, shoot, bounce shot over. Jason Gebhardt got a piece. Good save by him. And that one out of bounds. UMass on the backup. And the Minutemen will have it. UMass starts off play. Jim Kennedy behind the cage. Casey Powell is playing on midfield. We know against Penn he had 7 assists while playing some attack last week. And Coach Don Desco told us before the game, the assistant coach, that it is up to Casey Powell how much he wants to play on attack. He can play really as much as he likes. With an athlete like that, you got to let him go.
Absolutely. You want your best athletes on the field at all times, and if you can get them there both on midfield and attack, you might as well do it.
Casey Costello starts the scoring off in this game for UMass. 12:43 to go in the first period. Costello rips one home. A high laser beam shot that Jason Gebhardt, Paul, could not handle.
Again, they're just taking the short sticks to the net, and it's a great shot. Sidearm up to the top corner. You know, the first shot of the game coming at Gebhardt, it's always a tough one, especially when there's no man between the shooter and you. So, I mean, all it is you and the goalie, and you want to get it past him, and he did a great job there.
8 goals, 5 assists for 13 points for Costello. It's a 1-0 game. Jay Robbins at midfield facing off against Price. And that is one of the reasons Casey Powell is on the field at midi, because he can help drag in ground balls. Well, that one's poke checked away from him. Great play made by Dennis Kelly. He is an All-American at long stick defensive midi, and according to the UMass coaches, probably the best D midi in the nation at this point. Very impressive player.
And look for UMass to invert again and try and get a short stick behind and run basically the same play they ran last time.
Brendan Glass along with Jay Robbins. Robbins has 3 goals this year. There he is, number 31. He's the face-off specialist. He was 13 of 17 on face-offs in a recent game against Notre Dame. Minutemen coming in 6-4, ranked number 12, as we said, desperately need this win to keep playoff hopes alive. Right now they're in that designated top teams in the nation to make the postseason, but a loss here could just as easily bump them out, so they can't afford it. Brendan Glass behind the cage, being pushed aside by Denver. Glass, high shot. Actually a pass instead may have been deflected on a nice play by Denver. Ball came to Ken Susi, who lost it, and Syracuse looks to break out. Toby Price on the field for an unusual amount of time at midfield. Generally, he scoots off after the faceoff. Price with it. Spinning a fake. Carcaterra thought about a shot. Syracuse now will set up the offense.
They want to slow it down here and take a good shot. You know, UMass has had control of the ball the last few minutes here, and they want to really settle it down and get used to holding the ball and hopefully make them make a mistake.
Price is off the field now. Casey Powell comes on. Here's Matt Kutaya. Been a pleasant surprise with 9 goals for the freshman. Carcaterra gets free, shot way high, whistles wide. Morrissey on the backup. Syracuse has it. Quick inbound play. Kutaya scores! Boy, they didn't waste any time to get it to the freshman from Homer as he rips that one in from the left wing and ties the game up at 10:52 to go in the first.
Well, they caught him sleeping here. Basically, the ball came in from inbounds, and all of a sudden, he was left wide open with no man on him. He was left for an open shot. There he is, no man. Man comes late, but by then he's got the shot off. Again, here's another look.
10 goals on the year for Kutaya. And Coach Desco said he has really been impressed with the progress of Matt Kutaya, one of the strongest players he's ever had a pleasure of coaching. Andy Rodriguez taking the face-off for Syracuse, won by Matt Alexander. A couple of D-middies doing their job there. That pass thrown away. Unusual to see Casey Powell misfire on a feed to Jim Morrissey, and UMass gets it back. Minutemen just have not been able to do the job, as Beth mentioned in the opening of the broadcast against Syracuse. 22 meetings. Last year, SU took it 13-7 in Amherst. And I think, Paul, you remember playing games there, how difficult it was.
Sure, there's
fans are right on top of you.
We hit a few close games down at UMass as well.
That pass thrown away. Good pressure on the offensive attack for UMass. Orange been able to get that thrust aside, and Syracuse looks to take it over. Face off so far, 3-0.
That's a situation you don't want to get into. You don't want to force the ball on a long pass. Another mistake made there by Syracuse, overthrown. But you don't want to make that long pass, especially when there's long sticks standing around them like that. And UMass just was an unfortunate mistake, and you don't want to be doing that.
A couple of sloppy passes early on for both teams. A legendary coach against one of the younger coaches in college lacrosse, Greg Cannell, in his second season, has turned around a program pretty darn well in his couple of years here. And another sloppy play. Isn't able to handle that one is Eric Bailey, number 32. The young coach can't like to see that one.
No, you don't want to see the mistakes early. Although most games, that's usually the way it goes. The mistakes come early, and then you work and get into the groove later.
Not a heavy ride by UMass. The Orangemen look to break it out. Fotopoulos, his left long stick spot. And Jason Gebhardt, who had some big shoes to fill this year with Alex Rozier moving on. That pass too hot to handle and too high again. Haven Marceau getting some early playing time in this game. He's come on also. Had his first career goal last week against Penn. Haven't seen a number 3 on the Carrier Dome turf since Roy Colsey left last season. There's Haven. Turnover so far, kind of sloppy, Paul, as we mentioned, 7 total.
That's, could be typical last game here at the Dome for the seniors. And, they want to do a good job and perform for their family and friends who are in town here for the last time. It's not unusual to see.
Kazalakis works the Herald drum, and they bring across midfield successfully. Casey Costello, he has the lone UMass goal. Good strong spin move, still has it, shot there, deflected over the cage nicely by Gebhardt on a save.
Again, he's just trying to get the sweep across the top, and he got that one off that time, and good thing for Gebhardt.
Susi will trigger play behind the cage. Ken Susi, number 5. Eric Bailey has 14 goals this year and 12 assists. Neary is number 32, so he's dangerous. They've got some firepower, this team. Bailey, good move. Bounce shot was deflected first, looked like, by the SU defender, Harvey Sacred, on the play. And that one pushed out of bounds. SU will take over. Fotopoulos, nice job just out-muscling his man in number 5, Ken Susi.
And the Syracuse Big Sticks have done a great job so far, putting on heavy pressure on the attack. And what we're going to see is UMass take it to the short sticks, I think, when they're out there.
CBA's Jamie LeMessurier is getting some time also on this shift for Syracuse. He's a senior. Does an about face. Doug Jackson comes in. Senior captain Jim Morrissey. Coaches call him the most coachable player on the team. Team player all the way. Let's check in now with our sideline reporter Beth Moen standing by. Beth.
Thank you very much, Dave. Well, Coach Greg Cannell a bit concerned with the time of possession at this point. He wants his UMass players to hold on to the ball a little bit longer and get a better look at the Syracuse defense and try and control the tempo a bit. Dave?
All right, that was certainly a game plan coming in. They've got to be able to do that, or it could be a long day for them. Again, the strip play, and I'll tell you, Dennis Kelly, Paul's made 2 great plays so far on Casey Powell.
It seems like Casey's a little bit nervous. He's not going out there and running at 100% and going out there and making strong moves. It seems like he's being a little bit tentative, and and that always will cause you to not hold the ball as well as you'd like, and you're going to cough up the ball a couple times when that happens.
Feed inside of Carcaterra, try to squeeze off a shot, could not. Kazalakis able to rake that into his crease and break out the other way. UMass looking to run. Minutemen and Orangemen are tied up at 1-1, and as Beth said, the pace certainly has belonged to UMass so far, keeping the score down to just 2 total goals. Don't want to get in a run and gun shooting match with the Orange. Ken Sussy behind the cage. Fotopoulos watching him. Sussy just can't get any real estate to work with. Great job by Fotopoulos, forcing him outside on the perimeter. And now I'll work it then to number 36, Chris Grandy. Jay Negus, who to start this game was on the field. Most of the year has been a second line midi, with Coach Cannell switching his lineup a bit in this big game against Syracuse today. Del Percio, number 22, seeing time on this line also. Brendan Glass trying to back in, cannot. And Gebhardt able to rake it in, but a whistle first. Push called. Looks like a push against Syracuse, right outside the crease, and UMass will get it right back with 6:47 to go in the first.
Here it is here. He took a shot down low. Once you drop your stick, you know, it makes an easier save. And there's the hit afterward. You can see he got hit right from behind.
Mike Smiley, senior long stick from West Genesee, is the guilty party on that push. It gives it right back to Casey Costello and UMass, and he controls top of the box. Jim Kennedy will control the left-handed cradle. Kataya watches him from his midfield spot. Kennedy still has it in front. Bounce shot, score! Jim Kennedy gets his 11th goal of the year at 6:24 left in the first, and UMass has regained a 2-1 lead. Good move on the freshman Kataya.
Yeah, well, we've seen this play before. They're going to take the short sticks from behind. They're inverting. He just sweeps strong side. It's a nice bounce shot. You know, gets Gebhardt going low and puts it in the top corner. There it is again. You can see he just beats him clearly right from the corner.
Big goal for Jim Kennedy. Gets goal number 11 to go along with the 3 assists. As you coaches told us before the game, on occasion he can be very dangerous. Syracuse trying to control. Chris McCartan on long stick couldn't quite rake that in. And UMass has possession again. Minutemen will reset. Buddy Hoffman, top of the box, will bring it in against Mike Smiley. Minutemen have a lead this game. And so far in shots, they've been able to double up Syracuse. And that is unusual, especially here in the Dome, Paul, where the Orangemen are outshot and really outmuscled. Trailing possession time.
Well, possession time is the key. You know, if you have the ball, you're going to get shots. If you back those shots up, you're going to get the ball back, and that's what UMass has been doing.
That pass a little bit too tall to handle for Jay Negus. Out of bounds. Coach Canella's team on the turnover with 5:33 to go in the first. The Orangemen harbor any hopes of making that top 4, and a couple things have to happen. Syracuse in the next week's poll in the USILA should be number 5 because of a loss ahead of them this past week. But cracking the top 4 will be tough. There are some remaining games with those top 4 teams, but doesn't look like teams like Princeton will falter. Tigers top ranked and have been so almost the whole year long. Orangemen on the offensive attack. Andy Sherritt to the top of the box. Haven Marceau again getting playing time in this shift for Syracuse. That's taken away though by the Minutemen looking to break out the other way. Adam Waxer on long stick, but got a little too selfish maybe for the Minutemen on their attack and threw that one away, trying to rush things.
That's the second time now that we've seen a UMass defenseman take the ball away and then run down the field and make a bad pass and throw it away. And I'm sure the UMass coach doesn't like to see that. He wants them to see him slow it down and get those short sticks behind again where they've been successful.
And on cue, we see the turnover stat, 13 total now. Syracuse has racked up 8 of them so far here in the first quarter. That's a high number for the Orangemen, especially on their home field. Jamie LeMessurier is getting playing time on this line for Syracuse, along with Haven Marceau. Orangemen on the attack. Rob Cavett has been held in check so far, and he is dangerous, we know. Powell couldn't handle the Cavett feed. UMass looking to take over. Zach Hergott, nice play on long stick, and he regains. John Kazalakis. He is a sophomore goaltender. That was a good outlet pass, but yet another turnover against the Minutemen. They're just kind of looking up too quickly, Paul, before they have the ball in their cross.
It's been the same story. They're missing those long passes that are coming from over the defenseman's, the riding player's sticks. You know, it's tough to see. Maybe they're having some trouble with the dome, the white ceiling in the dome. I'm not sure, but made a lot of errant catches.
Jared Hand could not handle that last one. So the Orange take over. Ira Vanderpool will trigger play. He's got the speed. Vanderpool still with it. Nice move in front. Ira Vanderpool dives and scores. What a move right off the bench for the Orangemen. And sent a jolt through this crowd and tied the game up at 2-all. Fantastic athleticism by Vanderpool.
Here's a look at it here. He beats the first man, just puts his shoulder down and tucks his stick against the double and just sticks it around the goalie. It's a great move. Here it is from a different angle here. You can see he just beats a man easily, tucks the stick, and then fires it around the outside of the goalie. Great shot. Once you get around the goalie, there's a lot of empty net behind him.
8th goal of the season for the Orangemen. Toby Price right off the face-off, feeding in front. And Cavett just lost it off his cross. And a turnover goes right back to Dennis Kelly. Long stick defensive midi leads this team with ground balls, 51 of them. He's been able to rake in this year for the Minutemen of UMass. In front, wide open man, and that was Brendan Glass, who's their dangerous attackman. Buddy Hoffman looks to rake it in, and he will behind the cage. Hoffman has it. The left-handed cradle. Rourke Denver is on him. Good matchup to watch. UMass again on attack. Chris Grandy starts it off in the right wing. Del Percio comes in as well. They run several substitution patterns, and I think that's one of Coach Canella's standbys, using a lot of different personnel to try to confuse the defense. Hoffman with it, Smiley all over him. 2:35 and counting in the first, 2-2 game. Syracuse and UMass from the Dome today. Randy will re-trigger, and they will reset, taking their time. Del Percio, left wing with Alexander on him. Del Percio free. That shot deflected, nearly went home, but instead loose in front of the cage and scooped up by UMass and Jay Negus. Minutemen still have it. Ken Susi behind the cage. Gets a step on his man. Susi looking to feed. One-time play rang off the pipe, and the Orangemen and Jason Gebhardt get a big break. That put up by Brendan Glass, and Syracuse dodged the bullet there. Chris Gandy will regain for the Minutemen under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Good behind the goal look for you.
And the main reason for UMass having control is they're getting the offensive rebounds. Again, there's 2 instances in that last play. There's shots on net, 8 for UMass and 3 for Syracuse, and they're getting the offensive rebounds, which in turn gives you another chance to shoot on net. That's why they're more than doubling up Syracuse on shots.
Minute 30 to go in the first quarter. Casey Costello with Ryan Cummings from Nottingham High School on him. Cummings, a defensive midi. Very quick, makes up for a lack of size with incredible speed. Costello gets a step on him and scores! What a move by Casey Costello to give the UMass Minutemen a 3-2 lead. Fantastic move for his 9th goal of the season, and Coach Greg Cannell has got to love to see that with a minute 14 to go in the first.
Well, here it is. He slips, and then what happens is the defenseman overcommits, and then he gets a step on him and just buries it down low. Again, you can see he slipped, got around him, just put it down low, and it's a tough save anytime you shoot at a goalie's feet.
Second goal of the game for Casey Costello, and UMass is up by a goal. Dennis Kelly scooping up the ground ball. And we said he came in with more than 50 on the season. Harold Drum was lined up by an Orangeman, but could not lose the ball and able to retain possession. We're a minute and under now going in the first quarter. Handling is Susi, still with it. Nice save, Gebhardt, right at the midsection. Ken Susi, a blistering shot right on net. Orangemen look to come the other way. Here's Matt Doyle with it. Doyle been held in check as well so far in this game. Orangemen would love to get a goal here, Paul, and get some momentum heading into the second quarter.
Yeah, anytime you can put one in, you know, in the last minute of the quarter, it gives you momentum, and you know, that's what you need when you're down 3-2.
Rolling down to 20 seconds. Casey Powell again lost the ball. So far, he's just not been a big offensive factor for Syracuse. Kazalauskas still with it, trying to outlet, finally gets it away with 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Harold Drum nearly stripped from behind by Powell with a great diving effort, but can't get there. 4 seconds to go. With it is Brendan Glass, checked from behind by Rourke Denver, and that's the end of the period. Exciting lacrosse from the Carrier Dome. We're done with one on the Bryan Lacrosse scoreboard. UMass leads Syracuse 3-2. Second quarter action coming up right after this.
Welcome back to the Carrier Dome after the first period. It is 3-2 UMass leading Syracuse. Well, we've mentioned the fact that this is the final regular season home game, the final home game for the senior class here at the Carrier Dome. We thought we'd put it into perspective just exactly what they have accomplished during their 3+ years here at Syracuse. There you see the numbers, 46-9 with 2 national titles in their freshman and junior seasons, 3 trips to the Final Four, and 3 consecutive 12-win seasons for this senior class. Dave?
Amazing numbers. Those guys have piled up. And there's a sophomore goalie, and Jason Gebhardt, with a couple years to go before he plays his final Dome game. Right now, Jason and the Orangemen in a bit of trouble, down 3-2 as we begin second quarter play of the Dome today.
Well, I think they've just had a tough day so far. I mean, Casey Powell dropping the ball a couple times. You know, he strips a man and they pick up the ball. And, you know, I mean, those are the kind of things that you can have turn around in the game and end up going right for you in the second half. And, you know, come back and put up some good numbers.
Eric Bailey behind the cage loses his man for the moment. Toby Price got a piece of that one. Came away to Ken Sussy. Eventually, the Orangemen regained. Price to Powell, and Syracuse breaks in. Casey Powell, full head of steam. Here's where he's so dangerous against Costello. Muscled his man. Shot never got to the cage. Was blocked away. Casey Costello really standing up to the bigger, faster player. Here is Casey with it. One Casey on another. He has 2 goals so far. Hammered from behind by Cavett. And looks like a push called will be against the Syracuse Orangemen. We'll check it out. Cavett from behind on Costello.
Here's the hit on here. Look, he just comes and gets a free hand push on the back. You can see it there.
So far have not had a penalty in this game, which is also unusual. Pretty cleanly played. That was one of the more physical hits we've had. Just a couple of play-on pushes have been the calls to this point. 3-2 UMass a lead. Just a minute into quarter number 2 from the Dome today. Orangemen on a ride defense, but not a full field pressure situation. UMass looks to break it in. Jay Negus off for Brendan Glass. So far he's been held in check, but we'll see and hear more from him throughout the afternoon. He's an All-American and a junior, 4th all-time on the UMass scoring list with 97 career goals. So he is dangerous. As is Chris Grandy. Del Percio on the left wing. He's watched by Cummings. Ryan gave up a goal to Costello in a one-on-one matchup we saw at the end of the period. Loose ball in front. McCartan had a hand on that one across. That's probably going to be a crease violation called against UMass. Gebhardt had the ball in his crease and was hammered by Brendan Glass, number 45. Syracuse a free restart at midfield after that violation. And Kutaya scored one of SU's 2 goals in the first quarter. He triggers play just 2 minutes into the second. Rob Cavett behind the cage to Matt Doyle. Both those players have been held without a point so far in this game. Andy Sheritz, number 13, works around the perimeter. Syracuse a bit of a patient attack here. Good hard defense played by UMass. Doyle just can't get penetration. Feed for Sheritz, couldn't pull the trigger. Minutemen doing a great job in front of their own cage and getting the Orangemen out of there as Massey looks to take over. PG Massey, number 21. A violation first, though, as the Minutemen turn it over.
And Syracuse got the shot they wanted. They drew the double on the corner, threw it behind, and the cutter came right down the middle. The UMass defenseman just happened to get a stick on his stick and couldn't get the shot off.
Casey Powell against Dennis Kelly. Powell looks to work in. Casey still has possession. Stripped, great defensive play. Well, they've been collapsing on him all day, and he just can't get anything off. That has been the story. PG Massey looks to break in. Wide open in front. What a stop by Gebhardt as he denies Brendan Glass. Jason Gebhardt coming up big against Glass, one of the best offensive players in college lacrosse. And some bodies falling on one another as Massey gets tangled up with Carcaterra.
That's just an outstanding save. Here's a look at it here. He's left open on the cut, one-on-one with the goalie, and Gebhardt just robs him.
Unbelievable play. Quickly back in action as Hoffman squeezes off a quick shot. A nice save made by Jason Gebhardt again. Ground ball so far. UMass been dominating play on the midfield area and scooping a lot of those up. It's been a big part of this game so far. Haven Marceau again on the second and third midfield line this game. Price is open. Couldn't make his spin move, was hit hard as he tried to make it, and it looks like a warding off call against Toby Price. So the Orangemen turn it over again with 11:27 to go in the first half. Paul, this seems like overall, as we see the shot stat, on offense, the Orangemen just not gelling. They are getting a couple good looks, but
well, they're really just not getting in a groove and developing the rhythm that they normally get into, you know, making those passes where they don't have to look, and, you know, they're getting caught from behind, passes are being dropped, they're forcing it. I mean, they're really not playing the team game that they normally do.
The 11-minute mark of the second quarter, still a one-goal game. UMass has the lead. Kennedy has one goal already in this game. Hoffman on that attempted feed. Del Percio scoops it up. Ground ball play has been very effective. Jeff Lowe is on him. Freshman getting some time. Del Percio will reset. Patient UMass attack.
And again, the difference has been UMass's ability to get the loose balls. I mean, they're getting them in the offensive end, they're getting them in the midfield, they're getting them in the defensive end.
Ken Susi was the cutter on that play, trying to get open and could not. Glass with it, looking to spin. Brendan Glass can't get free for a shot. And Susi will regain. He has some space, thought about winding. Ken Susi open, shot there, and Gebhardt again stops it. Outlet pass to Cummings. Syracuse trying to get this crowd into the game. They've been a bit quiet because the Orangemen just have not threatened with a lot of great opportunities. Ryan Cummings into the offensive zone. Good spin move. Cummings still has it. Left-hand shot. Score! Ryan Cummings ties this game up at 3. Great individual effort. Spin move, Paul, the top of the box, freed him up for a left-handed shot.
Well, here it is here. It's just a spin move. He rolls, again, beats the double. And here he jumps, and it looks like he's going to shoot low. The goalie goes low, and he puts it over his shoulder. Here's a look. As he jumps, the goalie goes down, and he puts it up over his shoulder. A lot of goalies get caught reading the body, and that's what happened there. He read the body, looked like he was shooting low, and he put it up high.
Fourth goal of the year. Faceoff so far belonged to Syracuse at 5-2. Jay Robbins, 46 of 65 in faceoffs of the last 3 games. Syracuse looking to win this one and keep the momentum going. Orangemen have possession. PG Massey, short stick defensive mid, he comes in. Carcaterra, the freshman, Haven Marceau out there along with Ira Vanderpool. He scored in the first quarter. One thing, Paul, that Coach Desko told us before the game, is scouting report on Kozalakis, the goaltender for UMass. He goes down on his knees often. So a high shot may be something we see a lot of, and it may have been an example there from Ryan Cummings.
Well, anytime you get a goalie that goes low all the time, what you want to do is dip or drop your front shoulder and then shoot high, and eventually that goalie will start going down, and then he can put it over top of his shoulder.
Good point. Greg Cannella looking to break the long losing streak that UMass has suffered through, as Beth illustrated at the top of the broadcast against these Orangemen. Go back to the Coin Field days, the last time that UMass beat a Syracuse team. Turnovers a lot for any SU squad. Glass couldn't handle that one over his cross. It's out of bounds, and yet another turnover to the list. 23 so far here in the first half between the two teams.
Situation where the SU's doing a good job on the ride, forcing the long pass, and that's what you want. You want them to throw the ball away. You want to make the long pass.
The measure at midfield. Syracuse is offside. That's going to be a turnover, as Rodriguez and Powell, misreading the play, went over the midfield line. So right back to UMass, and yet another turnover. Minutemen trigger play again. Eric Bailey will start things off. Another 9 minutes to go in the first half. Todd Sokolowski, number 29, comes off the field from his D-midi spot. Jim Kennedy is in. Kennedy scored in the first quarter.
Here they are with that invert again. They're running the short sticks behind, and so far this is how they got all 3 of their goals. Pushing the corner on a short stick, beating them, and then getting the shot off. Let's see what happens here.
A couple teams this year, Paul, tried that against Syracuse. Kennedy with it. Nice save, Gebhardt, as he deflects it again over the cage. Good backup by Bailey.
Again, if it wasn't for the great save by Gebhardt, there's, the 4th goal, all from the same area, the same invert.
Sophomore Jason Gebhardt coming up with some huge saves in this game. Bailey will control. Back in his man, Alexander. Bailey lost control with it. We have our first penalty flag of the day, and it's probably going to be against Alexander for a hole. Technical 30 against the Orange. They'll be down. The freshman from West Genesee on defensive midfield, Matt Alexander.
Here's a look at that. He just does an inside roll, gets caught up with both hands on him, and brings him down.
So Alexander will sit out for holding. And the first man-up situation of this game for either team, which is unusual considering we're about halfway through the second quarter. This season, UMass has not done too well on the man-ups. We'd love to get a goal here and take that one-score advantage. Hoffman, top of the box, thought about squeezing off a shot. Brennan Glass to Hoffman. And Bailey on the man-up unit. Eric Bailey. Del Percio's on the left wing. Penalty release. Good job by Syracuse and killing off the 30 seconds. UMass can 10 here, Paul, just to reset.
Yeah, they didn't get the look they wanted. They were basically a 3-on-2 up top, and you really got to get down to the sides and the corners to get a good shot off against Syracuse.
So Brendan Glass looks to make his move toward the cage. He is a very strong player. Can go either hand. Smiley helping out on defense. Again, the Orange able to force out the Minutemen on the perimeter, and that's been a big key in shutting them down in the last few minutes of this game. Eric Bailey looking to attack in the left wing. Syracuse in the man-to-man defense we've seen throughout the game. That is their stats inside. They get another goal, though. Good feed to Jim Kennedy, who scores for the second time in this game. Jim Kennedy open in the crease, Paul. There's really nothing Jason Gebhardt could do.
What happened there was the man got caught sleeping in the middle. Double team went. His man slid behind him and was left wide open. As you can see, the additional help was too late. Here it is here, slides right inside. See, the help is too late. Just a lack of communication. What you got to do is you got to let your defenseman know that you're going to double right away, and that way that help comes earlier.
Second of the game for Kennedy, 12th of the year, and the Minutemen again have a 1-goal, 4-3 lead. Dennis Kelly regains the ground ball, and we know why he's such an effective player. Very good on defense. Jay Robbins is a face-off specialist. Sees some time on the offensive midfield side of things, but normally he'll scoot off. Kelly is off the field. Able to get Chris Grandy on now on short stick. UMass again running several different midfielders in. Robbins will come out. Del Percio, who's a first-line attack mid, he is on. A lot of personnel switches, though, Paul, even in the midst of one offensive shift.
Yeah, again, as long as you hold the ball and keep possession, you can afford to change your personnel up and take your time and get the fresh legs and hopefully try and keep the same defense in at the same time.
Del Percio's shot, not too much pace on that. Gebhardt and the Orange able to easily break that one in. And Syracuse will look to break out. Price in the midfield. 5:45 and counting. Toby Price, face-off specialist. Orange been really down in the shot department by 10 at this point. Only 6 shots for Syracuse. And we are more than halfway through the second quarter.
Again, that's just due to the fact that they haven't been getting the offensive loose balls like UMass has.
Carcaterra is free. Paul Carcaterra bounce shot and a score! On a feed from Casey Powell. Carcaterra went to the left-hand Paul gate and was able to burn Kazalakis for SU's 4th goal of the game.
Well, here he is. You can see on the change he got open, and then, like you said, the goalie goes down to his knees and he put it in the top corner. Bounce shot's going to get a goalie who goes down low like that.
8th goal of the year for Paul Carcaterra. The junior, number 19, scores it And we're knotted up at 4. Robbins again will face off for Syracuse. Andy Rodriguez coming off really difficult knee operation and injury. Still not at 100%.
When you look at faceoffs, Syracuse has 6. UMass has 3, doubling them on the faceoffs, even though UMass is dominating loose balls during the play.
Kelly looking to regain the ground ball and does so. Look at the speed for a long stick defensive midi. He is impressive. The All-American brings in. Kelly still with it, thinking about a shot. And that one deflected before it got to the cage. Crease violation against Dennis Kelly, who was streaking in, Paul, with a full head of steam.
Well, you know, it's almost their last game of the year, too, and he wants to get a goal. Or a few, you know, it's always nice to come down the field and get your shots off as a big stick.
He has 3 goals this year. Ground ball stat, thanks to players like Kelly, in favor of UMass as well. 21-12. Fotopoulos brings into the offensive zone. We've seen Christian score on a long stick defensive midi this year, a long stick close defender. Gavitt lost the ball out of his cross. Very unusual to see him mishandle as Harold Drum regains. Minutemen looking to bring in the other way. PG Massey has it, goes left hand, thought about a shot, and they'll back it up. He'll come off the field from his defensive midi short stick spot, and they'll bring on Eric Bailey. .4:15 and counting to go in the first half. UMass and Syracuse all knotted up. One of the reasons this guy, Casey Costello, number 9, with 2 goals for the Minutemen.
He's just going to take his man behind again and try and beat him on the corner.
Costello and Kennedy have scored 2 apiece. Here's Casey with it. Turns, spins, what a save. Gebhardt going up high. Rebound still loose. Jason Gebhardt looks to rake it in and does, beating Brendan Glass to the ball.
Solid save by Gebhardt.
He's had a whale of a game already. Kutsai couldn't handle that pass. A little too far in front of him. Adam Waxer regains. Here come the Minutemen again the other way. PG Massey in the midfield. Massey feeding inside. Oh, what a play by Brendan Glass for a score. Behind the back shot, and the Minutemen lead again 5-4. Brendan Glass lighting it up as he scores his 98th career goal at UMass.
Here's the look here. He just slides in behind the defenseman on the fast break, and it's a great behind-the-back shot. How much of a chance for Gebhardt to make that save? Take a second look at it.
Looked like Christian Fotopoulos was irate, perhaps about a possible crease violation against Glass, who nevertheless has scored number 28 on the season. 3:25 and counting to go. That is a highlight reel play by Brendan Glass. Casey Powell has had a couple of behind-the-back great plays of his own. Will just bounce one out toward Andy Sheretz. And the Orangemen look to reset. Powell has that 1 assist. Had a career-high 7 dishes in that big win last week at Penn at Franklin Field in Philadelphia. Price mishandling the ball. A little off the mark today. That's a good example, I think, Paul, just how they aren't quite in focus.
That's right. They're just not gelling, and their chemistry today has been a little off.
Not the time for this to happen. Final home game and the final regular season game of this 96 campaign. Orangemen really needed to keep alive any chances of making that top 4. Does not appear likely. So in a couple of weeks, a first-round game at the new site this year, not home game, it'll be at Cornell. Casey Powell trying to get a step on his man, cannot. Powell feeding in the middle of the field, that one intercepted easily. UMass looking to come the other way. Not a problem at all, the interception. Powell just got caught again behind a couple defenders and couldn't get a clean pass off.
Well, that double team comes, and you got to know where the open man is. And that time he tried to force it across the middle, and that's the thing you don't want to do when the double comes. You want to feed the outside lanes. The guys should be open there. And if they weren't open, well, then it's probably not Casey Powell's fault in that situation.
Timeout called by UMass with 1:56 to go in the first half. A 5-4 Minutemen lead, thanks to a spectacular play from Brendan Glass, the junior All-American attackman, with a tremendous goal. And imagine, Paul, Coach Greg Canella's got to be very excited at this point to have his team in such good shape. And right now, we'll head down to Beth Mullins, our sideline reporter, as Roy Simmons Jr. tucks it over on the sidelines with his group. Beth, take it away.
Thank you very much, Dave. Well, we all know how great a job that Coach Simmons has done over the years. In fact, he is third now all-time in wins in college lacrosse history. And interestingly enough, it is the former UMass coach, the late Dick Garber, who is number one on that list. 300 wins in 36 years at UMass. And you see Coach Simmons third, his father is fourth, and then Richie Moran fifth from Cornell. So 36 wins for Coach Simmons to surpass Coach Dick Garber, the late Coach Dick Garber, a great one at UMass to become number one all-time in college lacrosse wins. Dave?
Amazing career for Roy Simmons Jr., Beth. 265 and 89. Coming off the 2011 victory for that 265th at Franklin Field against the Penn Quakers last week. I'd say, Paul, that guy's got a little ways to go to catch up with head coach Roy Simmons.
That's for sure.
Just a minute 56 to go here in the second. Minutemen will control. Costello with his 2 goals. Kennedy has scored 2. And one, as we saw from Brendan Glass, behind the back shot a few moments ago. Other than that, Jason Gebhardt has had a spectacular game, making some huge saves, really keeping the Orangemen in this game.
Well, he's made the saves that you expect a goalie to make in this situation when you're down in a game. You know, the goalie's got to come up big and not let any easy goals in, and he hasn't done that so far. Every goal that's gone in has been one where a guy's been open.
High pick from Bailey. Costello trying to get free. Very patient. Again, Jim Kennedy on the left wing. Ryan Cummings on him. Rolling down toward a minute to go. Clock in your lower right-hand portion of your screen. Whistle and a turnover against UMass. Good break for the Orange. Delay of game called. Failure to advance against the Minutemen. So with a minute to go, Syracuse takes it back over. Alexander helps bring it on, and he will come off the field along with Casey Costello. Andy Rodriguez gets a shift to midfield. Here's Doug Jackson. Haven't heard much from him in this game either. Doug has not scored. Usually he's among the scoring leaders. A lot of firepower. Rodriguez trying to get a shot off. Controls. Rodriguez shoots. What a save made, though, by Kozalakis. John Kozalakis comes up big. Vanderpool hammers his man at midfield. No call made. And Casey Powell regains. 25 seconds to go in the half. Powell with it, top of the box, gets free, feeds, Rodriguez shoots. Oh, and another great save by Kozalakis. Rebound loose, Kozalakis all over it in his crease, able to stop it again. Casey Costello regains.
3 great saves in a row, and again, he's going down. It's going to be a tough area to score if he keeps shooting low. You got to come up high, make him drop to his knees, and put it over his shoulder.
Last shot stopped by Jason Gebhardt, and that'll do it. The first half of play. What a first half for John Kozalakis, the sophomore goalie from Manhasset, Long Island, with some huge saves. It's a 5-4 halftime score as the Orangemen and the Minutemen, and in an excellent game, and Kozalakis, who came in 14 saves against Notre Dame in the last game the team played, 13 against Harvard, 9th in the nation in saves. So the halftime score on our Brine Lacrosse scoreboard, 5-4. UMass has a halftime lead in the Orange. More coming up after this. Welcome back, everybody, here on Super Sports NCAA Men's Lacrosse. UMass, a 5-4 lead on Syracuse. We're about set for the second half. Paul Gate, let's check out highlights from the first early on. A great start for Casey Costello and UMass going high against Jason Gebhardt.
Well, good, and they're taking them on the corners, inverting with the short sticks behind, and then just going one-on-one, and they're getting open for some good shots.
Ira Vanderpool, spectacular goal for the Orangemen to keep them in it in the first quarter. They're down by 3 after 1. And that's some great saves from Jason Gebhardt, a 3-2 score after the first quarter. And eventually, Glass able to break through the Syracuse defense, and some great saves as well from Kozalakis of UMass. 3 at the very end of the first half to help thwart the SU attack. Here are the numbers, Paul, to check out from the first half stats.
The shots, it's 19-9 for UMass. Again, that goes to picking up those offensive loose balls. Saves, 9-3 in favor of Syracuse. Ground balls, 19-9. for UMass. There it is right there. And face-off, 7-4 for Syracuse. At one bright spot there. Clears, 16 of 21 for UMass, 14 of 16 for Syracuse. And man-up goals, 0 for 1, UMass.
Third quarter is underway. Syracuse on the attack. Jim Morrissey will handle behind the cage initially for the Orange. Cavett and Morrissey, along with Doug Jackson, frontline attackmen for the Orange, have really been kept in check by the UMass defense so far in this game. We saw it by the stats. Casey Powell, officially in the first half, no points, no goals, no assists.
And again, Casey Powell just gets stripped easily. You know, it seems almost like it's falling out of his stick, and it's just one of those indications that you're having a tough day when that happens.
Greg McDonald able to regain Paul for UMass, bring into the offensive zone. And again, the Minutemen on their attack. They've been able to control the pace throughout most of this game. And the Orange have been unable to get a lead so far today. Syracuse coming in 4-0 on the home field for the 96 season. The last thing these 9 seniors want to do is come away with a loss in their last game.
And I think we'll see a lot of them try and step it up here in the second half. I mean, exactly. You don't want to go out, you know, with a loss in the Dome your last game.
Casey Costello, 2 goals. We saw the halftime highlight a moment ago, open up the scoring. Kataya is on him. Matt Kataya had SU's first goal of the game, the freshman. His 10th of the year. He's 10-0 this year, no assists for Kataya. Costello tries to get a step on him, very quick. Casey Costello looking to go in front. Good move, didn't have the angle. Costello still with it. Faked the feed and still has possession. Good stick handling skills. Jim Kennedy, he has 2 goals as well in this game. Feeding off for Glass, instead comes away to Susi. And there he is at the top of the box, number 5. He'll reset. Fotopoulos on him.
UMass being patient there. They had a couple opportunities to take some shots and opted to hold on to the ball instead.
End zone camera look to see how the defense sets up against this UMass attack. As Paul's mentioned, and Coach Desko told us about, inverted play. And that has been a big key in changing around some of the short sticks. Appears to be a delay of game, though. Failure to advance. And the patient style that time didn't pay off.
Obviously, I guess they wanted them to go to the net at that point, and the UMass players didn't see the call and basically didn't go to the net.
Here's Cavett the other way. Syracuse really looking to pick up the pace here if they can. Casey Powell, Carcaterra. Turnovers, 32 of them so far. Paul Carcaterra had a goal in the first half himself. He's got a very quick first step and a lightning right-handed shot. That's 2 traits of his game to watch for. Cavett behind the cage to Dougie Jackson from Janesville DeWitt High School. Right here in central New York. Morrissey, another local product from Skaneateles. Kataya, they'll work it right around the cage again. 11:45 and counting in the third. Orangemen still down by a goal. No scoring yet in the second half. Cavett inside, shot there. He was pushed. Maybe a crease violation. That is the call against Rob Cavett. Good aggressive charge ball gate to the goal, but he was hit pretty hard as well.
He's out there trying to make something happen. You know, anytime you get inside your defenseman, you're between him and the goalie. You know, you're forcing the shot, and you really got to try and reach around and go low in that situation. That time he tried to put it near high, and it was an easy save for the goalie.
Del Percio will work around the cage, watched by Ryan Cummings. Brendan Glass is on the field along with Buddy Hoffman on attack here. First line attack, Ken Susi there as well. Del Percio had that one knocked out of his cross from behind. Buddy Hoffman looks to track down the far side and will, just before Jackson had a crack at it at midfield. Being an attackman, he's got to stay behind that midfield line. Brendan Glass, top of the box with a left-handed cradle. Good double team defense by Syracuse. Alexander helping, but leaves a couple men open inside. Alexander chasing that one down out of bounds off UMass and Jim Kennedy. Good pressure defense by the Orangemen.
And that's what Syracuse needs to do now, is go out there and get 2 men on a loose ball and don't let UMass have the easy loose ball or ground ball.
substitutes now made officially. LeMessurier is on for Syracuse. He's a senior.
UMass is in a deep ride here. They're going to sit back at the midfield line and force it just as they get over center.
Offside the call. LeMessurier didn't like it. He's complaining bitterly to the official. And now he's changing his call. So the official on the near sideline, realizing his mistake, he says an official error, pointing to himself, explaining it to Greg Cannella, head coach of UMass, and there is no offside violation. So SU will have it. Toby Price triggers play on the far wing. Jackson even with a cage. Being watched by Zach Hergott, number 42, one of their best long stick defensive players. Haven Marceau with it, carrying in. Morrissey mishandles. Good play by Jackson to regain. Doug Jackson behind the cage. Jim Morrissey, senior captain. He wants to go out in a blaze of glory here in his last dome game. Morrissey spinning, gets the angle. Shot to score, Jim Morrissey. Ties the game up with 9:59 to go in the third. Paul Gate, that goal did not come easily. Hard work for the senior from Skaneateles.
That's right. He was trying to turn the corner here. Defense is doing a good job. It's a quick inside roll and just gets lucky between the legs there. It's a tough angle shot, and you hope a goalie doesn't get a piece of it. And fortunately, he didn't.
Jim Morrissey is 1-1 in this game, 32 goals on the season. He was 4-4 for 8 points last week in the huge win, 2011, over the Quakers of Penn. Toby Price wins the faceoff for the Orangemen. And Syracuse starts off again the offensive end. We're tied up at 5. Matt Doyle backs in on his defender. Against Sokolowski, number 29, they make a defensive switch. They want to get Harold Drum on that matchup, 44. Doyle has not scored. Nice athletic play by Casey Powell just to catch that one and bring it in against Kelly. Powell feeding, shot in front by Carcaterra is wide. And what an opportunity and great setup by Casey Powell.
Again, he drew the double team and the man in the middle was left wide open. They got to bury those.
Casey Powell lost it initially. Kelly again on him with a hard, close defensive play. Shot so far, still a big advantage for UMass. But the game is tied up. Kutaya, top of the box, gets a step on his man. Carcaterra pulls a trigger, deflected before it even got there. And picked up by Kutaya. Syracuse will reset. Casey Powell's pass, run down by Morrissey. He'll reset the offense at the top of the box. Under 9 minutes to go in the third. Tie game, 5 apiece. Morrissey looking to get a step. Jim Morrissey fires, hard angle, ball lost for a moment. And I don't think Kozalakis knew where that was. Adam Waxer did, though, and scoops up the loose ball with a long stick. There's Sokolowski into the offensive end. Good defensive midfielder. He'll come off and toss that to Eric Bailey. .8:15 and counting to go, third period. UMass and Syracuse all tied up. Kennedy will handle on the near side. He's had a big game with 2 goals so far. Bailey, top of the box, thought about a shot. Instead doesn't take that. Paul, we haven't seen UMass squeeze the trigger too much at the top of the box, maybe 15, 20 yards out. They're more of a high percentage type team.
Well, they're not confident with their outside shooting. And again, ball possession. They want to hold on to that ball. If they take the outside shot, it's an easy save for Gebhardt. And it's a fast break for Syracuse. So again, you want to take the opportunities that are going to be one-on-one with the goalie in front.
Great chance there. Kennedy pushed it wide, and Casey Powell breaks in the other way. Casey Powell, one-on-one with his man, passing in front. That was Jackson, nearly pulled the trigger, but keeps it alive behind the cage. Maybe a little possession play by SU, normally the run-and-gun type team. Jackson behind the goal to Morrissey. 7:20 and counting in the third.
It's just an example of how things are going for Syracuse. They come down, they have a fast break opportunity. Again, the wrong decision is made, and the ball ends up getting stalled out to a regular 6-on-6.
Orange on the reset again. Carcaterra looks for Ira Vanderpool. We saw his goal in the halftime highlights, that in the first half. Orangemen down 3-2 at the end of the first quarter, 5-4 at the end of the second. Morrissey backing in. Jim Morrissey can't get the shot off. Good defensive play from behind by Greg McDonald, and he will regain on the pass from Kozalakis. Casey Costello will jog it into the offensive zone for UMass. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. Minutemen at Syracuse tied up. UMass very much satisfied to be in this kind of slow-down game. What an effort by Bailey as he backs it and scores. He was being held. He was being dragged down, and Eric Bailey, a fantastic shot on the way down to the turf behind the back, scores the goal. UMass by 1.
Here's a look at it here. He beats his man, beats the double team. He's held here and just fires a desperation shot over his shoulder, and it goes in.
Fantastic play.
Again, you can see it's almost in desperation as he's falling down, and it goes right in the top corner. It's going to be very tough for Gebhard to pick, you know, especially when it's a desperation shot as the man's falling down. Nobody knows where it's going to go, especially the goalie.
One of the most difficult trick shots we've seen all year as Hoffman tries to regain at midfield for UMass. Physical play, Rourke Denver, scoop pass, dangerous, and oh, look at that hit on Glass against Toby Price. Brendan Glass absolutely leveled Toby Price with a high hit to the head. Whoa! Ryan Cummings ends up down the field hard. That's actually Matt Alexander. Comes away to Morrissey, breaking the other way. Jim Morrissey coming in, shoots. He scores! What a big play by the senior captain from Skaneateles. Charging in the right wing. And it is tied up at 6 apiece. Paul Gate, how about the action?
Well, here's the whole sequence here. You can see the flip, great hit there at center. Does a great job getting the ball, flips it to his man, but there's a man right on him. So he's held, good hit. Again, there's a delayed call there, but they let it go. And Syracuse off to the races here. Gets a goalie thinking he's going to pass, and he steps and puts it between his legs. Anytime you get the goalie guessing like that, it makes it much more of a difficult save for him.
Definitely the sequence of the game, with 2 outstanding hits. The officials letting all the play go, which makes it even more enjoyable to watch. And it is getting pretty physical inside. Off the faceoff. Still no possession off that last faceoff, believe it or not. Scrum for it. Finally, Morrissey comes away. Was a play offsides is the question. Bodies all over the place. Play on push is called against UMass, and Syracuse will get it. Great job by the freshman Harvey Saccharin, number 37, battling hard in there on his long stick defensive spot.
Let's see if Syracuse can gain some momentum from that last couple series. I mean, a tough loose ball in the faceoff there. And
Powell running over people, shoots high. He is leveled as he gets the shot off. His stick goes one direction. Casey Powell hitting the turf very hard as he got double teamed and flattened by Dennis Kelly.
Well, I think he was feeling the energy there. He just wanted to take it to the net and get a shot off and sacrifice his body at that.
Kutaya charging in. Wow, as the action picked up in this game all of a sudden. Not the kind of pace that UMass prefers, though. Shots much more even all of a sudden at 21-15 UMass. Orangemen trying to take their first lead in this game today. Kutaya shooting, can't get that one home. And a great save again by Kozalakis. Play on push though called against UMass, and Syracuse gets it right back. John Kozalakis, though, just a sophomore from Long Island, Paul, an impressive game.
Oh, he's playing well. Again, any goalie that plays well down low, I mean, that's the area that most people shoot. You know, you come up big.
Rung the pipe off that bouncer, Paul. Ball loose. Helmets flying all over the place as Adam Waxer, number 8, loses his hat. And that stops play. Waxer will come off for a moment.
Here's a look at that off the pipe. I mean, again, you get the goalie going down and put it up high. And there's the hit. Helmet pops off. Looks as though he's got a broken chin strap or something on that play.
Officials are allowing a timeout while the different equipment is coming off the field. Waxer is getting a new helmet. You're right, Paul. Chin strap just snapped on that one as he went for the hit. Kutaya trying to regain off the Morrison shot that rung off the pipe. But again, Kozalakis getting enough of that ball to deflect it high. And it rung right off the crossbar back toward midfield. Under 4.5 to go third quarter. Kutaya from the right wing, behind the cage. Dangerous pass to Jackson. Looks like we got a violation, probably a crease violation against Syracuse. Kutaya was kind of shoved, but he ended up inside the circle.
tried to make something happen as he was going to the net, and unfortunately, once you get that close to the crease, it's hard to stop and turn back, and just fell into the crease.
Kozolakis, outlet pass, Doyle nearly broke that one up. Good effort by Matt Doyle. Del Percio scoots that one ahead for Buddy Hoffman, and he regains it. Under 4 minutes left in this third quarter. Exciting game. As you see the end zone look here at the Carrier Dome. Always interesting to watch from this perspective to see exactly how the offense sets itself and the play develops. 6-6 game. Del Percio charging in against Kutai on the right side. Jason Gebhardt in the first half made some absolutely spectacular stops we saw in the highlights. Get the feeling, Paul, it may come down to that last shot or save that really decides a game like this. Del Percio just lost the ball. Good pressure defense by Matt Kutai.
It's definitely one of those games where anything can happen if it stays notched up like this right down in the end.
Sherritts and Vanderpool will come on for the Orange. Good feed by Rourke Denver. Got that up ahead to LeMessurier. Vanderpool trying to get a step, puts a shoulder in. Shot, nice save again by Kozolakis. Got a piece of that one. May have been a bit offline, but still some pressure on the sophomore goalie, and quickly the Orange will re-trigger.
Well, Syracuse is starting to get the shots again, and that's what they want. They got to have. They're used to getting a lot of shots, and it's starting to come for them. So I'm looking for them to come on strong in this fourth quarter.
Garcatera, again that first quick step. Tries to get a step on his man, instead swings behind for Doyle. Matt Doyle backing in. Good stick control, shot, and that went off the side of the net. Fans thought it may have been in. Doyle with a left-handed spin shot. Kozolakis able to just regain that. Greg McDonald with a long stick in the far side. Fans who were close by saw the ripple of the net and thought that was a goal for Doyle. Going down toward 2 minutes to go. Dennis Kelly, long stick. He has 3 goals this year. There are the shots by quarters and how even we are all of a sudden. Look at third quarter, Paul. 10-2, and the pressure D paying off. Good job on long stick. As Syracuse forces a nice turnover. Chris McCartan, number 18, doing the job. Not a full field ride, and Paul, we've not seen that much from UMass today. They're trying to bottle up the team at midfield.
That's right. They're going to concede it until the midline and then put some pressure on right as the ball gets over half, just like this.
And it pays off. Dennis Kelly takes a couple whacks at it. Syracuse could not keep that one in bounds. So the Orange lose it, and that half-field ride defense pays off against Coach Roy Simmons Jr. He is in a tight one, and there have been some close games this year. Ground balls pretty even, as are the shots. Right now the same stat at 21-19. Turnovers too high though, Paul, no question for a big game like this.
Yes, way too many turnovers. But I think most of them were early, and I think from this point on we're going to see a few less turnovers. You can see Syracuse is getting more ground balls, which also increases the amount of shots they're going to get, which has obviously been dramatic this quarter.
Jim Kennedy will handle on the left wing with a minute to go here in the third quarter. Slow whistle, penalty flag dropped on Alexander, so man up will be forthcoming for the Minutemen. Kennedy still handles. Delay whistle penalty until Syracuse could touch up. The penalty flag will stay intact. Kennedy passing, shot, Hoffman, score! Left-handed Whistler from low to high by Buddy Hoffman. And the Minutemen have regained a lead with 40 seconds to go. 7-6. Impressive shot of Whistler that Gebhardt couldn't stop.
There's that. He's got plenty of time to shoot, and he just buries it, basically. Puts it right off hip there. Here's another look here. Gonna force it up the side. Look, spots the open man across. Syracuse has got to get sticks on that pass when it goes all the way across 2 men. Here it is here. Just a great shot from outside. Plenty of time to shoot it as well.
24th of the year for Buddy Hoffman. It goes from bad to worse for Syracuse because of the 1-minute slash call against Alexander. So the Orange will be down a man for 60 seconds. And it's won by Jay Robbins. Face-off specialist with half a minute to go in the third. UMass has regained the lead. So far, unsuccessful on just one-man-up situation. Casey Costello handles in the left wing. Buddy Hoffman pointing to his helmet, basically relaying a signal in. Perhaps they're not going to even squeeze off a shot here or worry about a turnover with only 6 seconds to go in the quarter.
They're probably going to try and hold on to it and keep possession for the start of the fourth quarter.
That is the end of 3 from the Carrier Dome today. UMass a 7-6 lead on the Bryan Lacrosse scoreboard. We're ready for fourth quarter action. Coach Simmons Jr. has got to come back big time. Orangemen down by a goal. Back with more right after these words.
And welcome back to the Carrier Dome. 7-6, UMass leading Syracuse as we head into the fourth quarter. And to put this into perspective a little bit for you, Syracuse has won 29 of their last 31 games here at home. In fact, only 5 teams have ever come into the Dome and won. That would be Virginia, Hopkins, Carolina, Cortland State, and Cornell. So UMass, as we told you at the top of the program, has not won here in Syracuse in 20 years. And they are starting to work on a major upset here if they can come into the Dome and knock off the Orange. We've got 15 minutes, though, to go, David. I'm sure that the Syracuse Orangemen will have a little something to say about that before we're through here.
I'm sure of that, Beth. 4-0 this year at the Carrier Dome. Head coach Roy Simmons Jr. team has never led in this game. Been tied several times, but they cannot take the lead. Still 20 seconds to go in the man-up. So as we begin fourth quarter play, as we saw at the end of the third, UMass holding on to the ball in an attempt to start off the fourth quarter with a goal here. They've still got man up with 3 more seconds. Cummings will come on, penalties released. Hoffman works for Bailey. Had that spectacular goal in the third. Unbelievable falling shot behind his back. Costello for Brendan Glass. He has one spectacular shot also in this game, behind the back variety as well.
Well, that's twice now that Syracuse has held UMass's man up to no shots, which is exactly what Syracuse would want at this situation.
Good defense. Fotopoulos intercepts the pass intended for Jim Kennedy. And the Orangemen look to break out. Denver, watched by Brendan Glass. Work Denver. Good ball handling skills up ahead for Cummings. 1 minute into the fourth. Orangemen have their hands full today with UMass. The Minutemen have really come to play. Haven't been even close in the games in the past years in this series. But as usual, you have that defending national champ status. Everyone wants to knock you off the year afterwards, and mighty Syracuse no exception. Casey Powell trying to score his first of the game.
And this is always a big game for UMass. They consider this one of their biggest rivalries when they come in and play Syracuse.
Morrissey, what a stop made again by Kozalakis. And he will regain from his defensive midi and try to clear out. Greg McDonald avoids a check from Cavett. Whistle called. Over and back violation against UMass. Great pressure D by not only Doug Jackson, but Rob Cavett coming over to hammer Greg McDonald.
Well, they know they have to put on some pressure now and force some turnovers, and they went out there and did the job that time.
13-18 to go. Cavett has been held in check. Team's top scorer tied along with Jim Morrissey, 51 points apiece coming in. 28 goals for him. Morrissey came in with 31 goals. Cavett has really been put under wraps in this game by a tough UMass defense. Syracuse only 6 goals in this game today. And it's unusual for the Orange to be under 20, much less under 10 in the past years. Normally explosive offensive attack has been really held under wraps. Casey Powell, spinning top of the box, just can't get free from Dennis Kelly, the All-American midfielder on defense, has done a great job behind the back shot. Not even close there.
Well, I think Casey's having a tough day. He's starting to force some shots, trying to make something happen.
Kozalakis way out of his crease. Cavett trying to make him pay the price. Check from behind, can't do it. Good handling by John Kozalakis. Penalty flag drop coming up on Syracuse. Powell diving, trying to stop his man, cannot. Del Percio brings in Brendan Glass. Delayed penalty coming up. Glass in front, pass to Del Percio, who is denied by Gebhardt with a tremendous save on Mike Del Percio.
It's a great save by Gebhardt there, left wide open. Stuffs him up high. Here it is here. See, the man gets open on the cut in the middle. There he is, wide open. Gebhardt was there before he even shot it. Read the body well.
Matt Kataya picks up the penalty on that slow whistle we saw before the save against Del Percio, and what a great play by Gebhardt. A minute slash call on the freshman from Homer, Kataya, so he's in the box now. Man up so far. Not success for UMass in the 2 attempts. Minutemen lead by 1. Penalties so far, UMass 0 all the way across the board. That's impressive. The Orangemen not had the man-up opportunities.
I'm sure we'll hear the coaches say something about that after the game.
Del Percio scores left wing. Mike Del Percio rips one off from the left side. And Jason Gebhardt, Paul, can only come up big on so many saves, and the fans who come from Amherst, a little pack of them behind the UMass bench are letting themselves be heard here.
And it's just an outside crank shot right between the legs, and you know, it's going to be a tough shot. He's got plenty of time to wind up, draws the man, plenty of time, and just buries it right in the corner. It's a good shot.
His first of the game, third of the season. With 11:46 to go in the 4th quarter, the lead is 2. Second line midfield. Hoffman on the assist. Syracuse down by a couple. The Orangemen really need to get back in and get the crowd involved as well. Powell had that one go through his legs. Couldn't handle on the cross. Cavett the backup. Doug Jackson will set up again for Syracuse. Powell, tough angle. Actually shot that one behind the cage. Syracuse there on the backup. The Orangemen will switch Toby Price out.
So look at Casey, who's not very happy, having a tough day out there. It happens to the best of them.
Coming off the big 2-goal, 7-assist outburst against Penn last week, but UMass and everyone in the lacrosse world knows how good this kid is.
And he's going to draw the double and the triple, and you got to be prepared for it, and you got to be your sharpest at all times. And today he's just struggling.
Kataya poke checked away again. Nice play by Dennis Kelly, who's had a huge game. PG Massey with a full head of steam brings into the offensive zone. Feeding, that shot goes wide. What an opportunity. It was Brendan Glass who was on the doorstep. Tried the one-time play, Paul, and whistled it wide.
If this comes down to a 1-goal game, he'll be thinking about that shot for a long time.
Bailey, who had that play behind the back. I'm still thinking about that one, falling backwards. Unbelievable shot. And Gebhardt couldn't stop in the 3rd.
Seems like desperation shots are always the most fun to watch.
They sure are. Here's Kennedy. He scored twice in this game. UMass, especially now with a lead as we roll down to 10 minutes, will be content to slow things down a bit. Kennedy thought about a shot. Instead works out for Ken Sussy. Good play from behind. Fotopoulos going for it. Just does miss tracking it down. Kicks over the chair in the penalty box. Frustration.
Good pressure by Syracuse. Good double team there. Man was all alone with 2 men on him out in the corner. That's exactly what you want when you're down.
UMass will trigger. Eric Bailey starts play off. Senior All-American. Had 4 goals in a game against Delaware earlier this season. That was a season high for him. Rings in, good spin move. Bailey free for a moment, spins again. And the Orangemen regain their footing on defense. McCartan, number 18, is matching up with him from his defensive midi spot. Casey Costello with Ryan Cummings on him, under 10 minutes to go. Costello a spin, looking for the hat trick. Casey Costello still carries. And Kennedy will regain behind the cage. Matt Alexander from West Genesee High School on him. Kennedy feeds. Glass had that one go off his cross. Buddy Hoffman regains. Charging in, shoot and score, Ken Sussy. Ken Sussy from the right side gives UMass a 3-goal lead. With 9:35 to go, Paul, the defense was off balance And they had an unsettled situation.
That's right. Anytime it's unsettled, you got to find the open men wherever they are and can't let them get open for the shots. You can see the double goes to help out in the middle. The ball comes out. Pass down to the guys left open.
Coach Roy Simmons Jr. knows it is going to be a major uphill climb from here. His team is down by 3. Sussy gets his first of the game, 4th of the year. Price wins the faceoff. Toby Price shot. That one deflected before it got to Kozolakis, and then he sticks it aside, then outlets himself to Dennis Kelly.
Syracuse is in a situation where they have to go to the net, but they don't want to force it. You want to take good shots.
Jay Robbins.
One thing we haven't seen a lot of today is passing by Syracuse. I mean, it's been a lot of one-on-one. There was a good instance that last series. Price came down, tried to beat a man one-on-one, and took a shot without even making a pass. You got to draw the double team and find the open man. Speaking
of wide open men, diving was Ken Sussy, trying to one-time that one, went through his cross, over it, and out of bounds. Ken Sussy, with a great effort, tried to get the feed from Chris Grandy.
There he is, trying to stay out of the crease by leaping across it. Fortunately, when you leave your feet, it makes it also very difficult to catch the ball.
LeMessurier stays on side and brings into the offensive zone. Off to Kataya, whistle shot. That's off the cross of Cavett, racing down that far side along with Greg McDonald, the Orangeman closest to it. But Kataya's shot is kind of just an example of the way things have gone. Relatively unchecked in the left wing and not close.
That's right. I mean, he's not cutting. Wasn't on a cut. He was just standing there flat-footed and took the shot.
Morrissey behind the cage, Rob Cavett. Rob Cavett has just not been involved in terms of scoring in this game. They've done a heck of a job of making sure he has not been a big factor. Cavett pushed, shoved, somehow remains on his feet. Ball loose now. On the far side, Harold Drum going for it. Syracuse and Doug Jackson just barely the closest to it.
You've got to get that pass off. When the double team comes, you got to get rid of the ball. You got to move it.
Jackson will trigger.
The only time you wouldn't want to get rid of it is if you're in a position to shoot.
Shots relatively even. Powell shot not on cage again. Backed up by Syracuse, then intercepted. Good job by McDonald to get a piece of it. Ball loose in front. Comes away to the Minutemen one more time. Sokolowski regains. UMass will charge forward. Adam Waxer on the feet up ahead. Minutemen in some great shape. Sokolowski to Brendan Glass. Sokolowski now will come off, and Glass still has it on the left wing. Watched by Denver. 7.5 and counting to go in the 4th. Syracuse down by a 3 spot and in deep trouble. Especially now, the slow pace ball favors UMass totally.
They're going to try and slow it down as much as possible. I mean, they have the lead. They don't want any turnovers. They don't want SU to have the ball. They'll look for the stall call on UMass.
Casey Costello behind the cage. Ryan Cummings watching him intently. Costello a charge, left-handed cradle. Bounces back again behind for Jim Kennedy.
There's the stall call. Now they have to keep it inside the box.
If it leaves, it's a turnover. Kennedy. Carcaterra trying to push him out. Kennedy's shot, rebound loose in front. Glass kind of fanned at it. Sacre lost the ground ball opportunity. Ball at midfield. Morrissey trying to regain. Loses that war, though. Great job with Greg McDonald, but scooped up by Smiley. Orangemen come the other way. Morrissey into the offensive zone. Syracuse desperately needs a goal right here. Jim Morris is still with it. Has Sherritt streaking in left wing, and again, just unable to penetrate, get that one step they need for a good high percentage shot. Good recovery defense by UMass.
UMass did a great job of getting in the hole.
Timeout called by Syracuse. Orangemen in dire need of a goal. Coach Roy Simmons Jr. wants to talk things over here with 6:04 to go in the game. Orangemen down by 9-6. We head now to our sideline reporter, Beth Moen, standing by. Beth, Syracuse really needs a big boost right here.
Well, they sure do. And one of the problems, Dave, is that the Minutemen have been able to do exactly what Coach Cannella has been preaching to them all day, and that is control. They have controlled the tempo, they have controlled their poise, and they have not allowed Syracuse to get control of the lead. They have led from the start, and when things were pretty sloppy for them early on in the first quarter, they seemed to maintain themselves much better than the Orangemen did and have been able to play their style here in the second half. Let's go back up to you, Dave.
All right, Beth, thanks. Speaking of poise for Coach Cannella's team in this game today, John Kozalakis, sophomore goalie, who came in 9th in the nation, 9.63 GAA goals allowed in this game, has been spectacular. And so is Jason Gebhardt for Syracuse, with some big plays of his own. Kozalakis and Gebhardt. John has registered 8 saves. Fans starting to make some noise. They realize this possession is crucial, Paul Gay, for the Orangemen to have any kind of hope to make a comeback today.
Well, I mean, 3 goals is not a lot. You can score 3 goals in under a minute, but you really need to get some momentum going. You need to get things going in Syracuse's direction again. So they'd like to score here and keep on going from there.
Casey Powell on the left wing. So far, Harold Drum and Kelly have done a spectacular job on defense of stopping Casey Powell from scoring at all. We've got him down for goose eggs all the way across, goals and assists. Jim Morrissey works for Casey, top of the box.
Now we've got UMass in his zone formation. They'll let him take the shot from outside and keep that middle nice and tight. Not letting cutters in there and basically give him the outside shot.
Feet in front, Powell lost the handle. Ball still loose, right in the crease. What a job by Drum to rake it in and stop it. Carcaterra and Casey Powell right on the doorstep, couldn't pull the trigger. And the Orangemen again are denied, and what a job by Drum to trap that ball as it was heading toward the goal. Fantastic play. Brennan Glass behind the goal. UMass trying to perhaps strike a fatal blow here and go up 4 with under 5 minutes left. It is not going to be easy for Syracuse. That was a great chance too, Paul, a moment ago, and Casey Powell kind of capping off a frustrating day, just couldn't handle it.
Well, that's the opportunity they're looking for, and normally they're going to score those. Today it's just not going to happen.
Kennedy's bounce shot is over the cage. UMass closest to it. Ken Sussy was there, along with Casey Costello. Syracuse for the season, look at that stat. 50.1 shots a game. Wow. 26 under that for the game today. Watch out for a slash call. Cummings working hard on Ken Sussy. Ryan Cummings hacking at him, really plows into him, no whistle. And Alexander regains for the Orange.
There's a break for Syracuse with the fact there was no whistle on that play.
Smiley with a long stick. Mike Smiley looking for a short stick help. Finds Morrissey, Jim Morrissey cutting Carcaterra. It's actually Kavovit who goes behind the back and scores. Rob Kavovit with a big time goal. And the Orangemen are down by 2 with 3:57 to go in the 4th. That's his first goal of the game. What a feed.
Here's a look, good cut, good pass. Defenseman's got his hand on, just takes a better angle shot. Here it is from the end zone. Basically, it's the only shot he had. The defenseman had to stick on his stick. The only shot left was behind the back. It was a great shot at that.
Rob Kavovit is 29th of the year, but first of this game. Robbins and Price battling at midfield. Syracuse desperately needs the face-off, and they get it. Toby Price wins a big one. The last time we saw a win for Price, he streaked in and took an ill-advised shot. This time, wisely, gets it to Morrissey, leader of the attack. And they reset now to Matt Kutaya. Sokolowski on him. Kutaya backing in. Morrissey had to switch hands, made a nice effort just to catch that ball. Jim Morrissey, top of the box. Shot deflected and went well over the cage. Good defense by Greg McDonald. 3:24 and counting to go in the 4th. Syracuse down by 2. Fans getting restless.
They're going to clear it out for the short stick.
Kutaya backing in. Penalty flag drop. Kutaya's underarm shot is stopped nicely by Kozalakis, but we're going to have a man up and the first of the game for the Orange on a hold.
Here's a look at that shot. It's a shovel shot. Not a bad shot, actually. Good save.
John Kozalakis has come up huge in this game. Heading in, he had 27 saves in his last 2. Sokolowski is guilty of the holding. 3 minutes, 11 seconds is the first man up of the game for the Orange on the season, 28.8 efficiency. Here it is. Syracuse still has it for another 20 seconds. Morrissey behind the cage to Matt Doyle in the man-up unit. Carcaterra top of the box. Down to 12 seconds in the man-up. Heading down under 10. Penalty about to release. Orangeman satisfied right now with just working around the cage. Powell, Morrissey, an angle, a shot. Oh, what a save made again by Kozalakis. Penalty releases. Drum, long outlet pass at midfield, and a beauty as he hits P.G. Massey in stride. Penalty flag dropped. Slow whistle call. Glass couldn't handle that fast break play, but there is a violation called. In fact, there could be a shot to the head or a ward off. We'll see what the whistle is all about. 2:25 to go in the fourth. Illegal check is actually the call with a high shot to the head. Morrissey with a high elbow. And that could be disastrous with a minute penalty coming up on the senior captain. Well,
with under 3 minutes left, you certainly don't want to give up a man-up situation. And they're 1 for 3 today, 33%. You know, and twice, though, Syracuse has held them to not even getting a shot off, which is good.
Hoffman to Costello. Top of the box, Eric Bailey. Swing around the cage. Hoffman had a big goal in the second half. Del Percy also scored. That was on the man up. Just for that big goal that gave UMass the lead they've got at the moment. 2 goals right now at 9-7.
We've got a stall call on as well.
Ball loose, bad pass. Syracuse battling at midfield. Del Percio lost the handle. Delay of game is the call. Went out of the box. Great job on defense with a man down by the Orange. 1:45 left. Syracuse will have the ball. The penalty still in effect with 18 seconds. Casey Powell, top of the box. He's double teamed. Good strip from behind, but a penalty call. P.G. Massey came and blindsided Casey Powell, but there is a call against the Minutemen and another call for unsportsmanlike. Dennis Kelly came over and had a word with the official, and this could really spell trouble for UMass. Unsportsmanlike penalty in addition to the 30-second hold.
What a break for Syracuse. Here's a look at the first penalty here. He's coming right from behind, and it's actually number 2. He's up in the face mask. It was a good clean check from behind, and he's not happy.
All on Dennis Kelly. And we have been singing his praises, the All-American junior. May it really have hurt. And there it is at the very end. Had a couple of words. Yep, that's all you need to say. We probably won't repeat it. Not suitable for air, we're sure. But Kelly is out. There's still an 11-second time differential with the Jim Morrissey penalty on that illegal body check. So 1:36 to go in the fourth quarter. A 9-7 game. We check in again with our sideline reporter, Beth Mowens.
Thank you very much, Dave. Well, Dennis Kelly was irate when he came over to the sideline. He claimed he did not say a word to the official. We did see, though, on the replay, he definitely got in the official's face, but Kelly came over to the sideline claiming he had not said anything. And he came over and sat down on the sideline and turned around, and fortunately there's padding along the wall here along the sideline because he slammed it with his right hand and sat down, and his coaches had to come over and kind of calm him down, but he was not pleased at all with the call of unsportsmanlike conduct. Dave?
All right, Beth, and watch yourself down there. You're very close to where Dennis Kelly came off the field irate a moment ago. Good thing there's padding between our Beth Mullins and Dennis Kelly. 36 left in this game. in regulation. 9-7, UMass a lead. And the penalty situation, ball, 11 seconds left in Morrissey's. Then we've got full 30 on Kelly, and then a minute for the unsportsmanlike.
So it's a great opportunity for Syracuse here. They need to get one early.
The Orangemen will start off and have the one-man advantage for 11 seconds. The officials are trying to make sure the clock starts.
Can any of the clock run?
And that apparently is the controversy right now, because the penalty clocks had to start up.
How much went off? You should get that time. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I had 10 seconds. 10 seconds went off on the first one. 10 seconds. 10 seconds went off the clock.
It's going to take 10 seconds off the clock.
10 seconds off the game clock. 1 second left in the penalty.
The clock didn't move.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Reduced to 135.
Should be down to 126. And as things stand right now, there's 1 second left in the Morrissey penalty. Syracuse has one man up for 20 seconds and two men up after that. There's Kyle Federle, who is the SU equipment manager, in addition to keeping the official field clock for today's game.
Actually, they're only going to be one man down because both of those penalties are on the same man.
Right. Okay, that's right. That's correct. One man situation. The penalty will last for now a total of 45 more seconds. Minute 10 to go in the fourth. Cabot behind to Morrissey. Jim Morrissey still with it, holding. Doug Jackson, tough angle, can't get a shot off. Morrissey behind the cage. A minute to go in the game. Doug Jackson shoots. That one through the crease and wide. Cabot the backup with 56 seconds left. 20 in the man up. 20 seconds left for the man up advantage for Syracuse. Coach Canella can't stand to watch, pacing away from the action. Syracuse on the attack. They've got to get a goal quickly, trailing by 2. Cabot behind the cage, Morrissey, wide shot. Again, sticked aside by Kazalakis. 43 seconds left, only 7 left in the penalty.
They need to get a quick shot off right away.
Syracuse resets. Carcaterra, 5 seconds left in the penalty. About to release. Jim Morrissey, 35 left in the shot clock. Powell, low shot, bouncer wide. Back up again, Cabot for Syracuse, only 36 left. And the drama really picking up. Penalty has released.
And that shot went off a leg before it even got to the net.
29 seconds and counting. Syracuse still with it. Cabot, athletic play, scores! Rob Cabot regains, brought it down, and put it home with 22 seconds left. What a play by the junior.
That's a big goal. Gotta have someone step up, and here it is.
Cabot's second of the game, Powell's first point of the game.
That's right, a great acrobatic catch, and was a high pass. He leaped up, caught it, and was off balance and found the net.
Talk about drama. Greg Canella wants to break the 15-game UMass losing streak to the Orange. This is a huge face-off. Can Syracuse win it? Ball is loose. Only 18 seconds left. Alexander couldn't handle it. UMass just trying to scoop it away. Morrissey lost the ball up in the air. Whistle, holding call. Timeout called. Syracuse should get possession, it looks like.
It's a good timeout by Syracuse. Just when he had it in his stick, Coach Desko called it.
Oh my goodness. Drama building. Kazalakis off the field. A tremendous game today. Just 11 ticks to go. A 9-8 UMass lead. Beth Mowens again standing by. Drama building up here. What's it like down there, Beth?
Well, as you can imagine, it's pretty intense. The UMass sideline not real enamored with the officiating here down the stretch. They were obviously very disturbed by the problems with the clock, and they thought that they may have lost or may have gained a couple of seconds in Syracuse's advantage there down the stretch. But the other thing to remember for UMass, they would much prefer to see this end in regulation. They are 0-2 in overtime this year. Syracuse is 1-1. Dave?
All right, Beth, that's the last thing that UMass wants to see. Just 11 seconds to go. Paul, what is a strategy for you here? If you're in the SU huddle, you were there for 4 years. Didn't see a lot of situations like these. usually Syracuse winning at this point of the game.
Well, what you want is you want to have your big man take the ball. There he is, Casey Powell with the ball, draw the double team, and find the open man.
11 seconds left. Powell will start. Kelly on him. Casey Powell with 10 seconds. Trying to get a step. Powell shot, scores! He scores! Can you believe it? The sophomore from Carthage has sent this crowd into an explosion. And the Orangemen tie the game up with 6 seconds to go.
Well,
holy mackerel.
Here it is, a strong sweep. He just drops the stick down, takes a low shot. It skips right over the goalie's stick. Here it is from the end zone. It's just a strong sweep. No double team by UMass, and in that situation, you have Casey Powell. He can beat anybody in the country. You know, that's his first goal of the game and the biggest one.
Unbelievable finish to regulation. It's not over yet, of course, with now 5 seconds left. Hold on a minute. 4 ticks to go. Price on the procedure call against UMass. Now UMass takes a timeout. It's down to 2 seconds. A lot of time expired there after the clock had stopped. This is what coaches Desko, Donahue, and Simmons are going to complain to the officials about.
They're going to want 2 more seconds on the clock. They claim that it was 4 seconds when that timeout was called.
What an incredible play by number 22. You see him there.
Well, he's the kind of guy who can beat anybody one-on-one. You know, it takes a double team to stop Casey Powell, and there was no double in sight, so he's going to get a shot off.
Saves the best for last. And UMass potentially remains snake-bitten with a 15 straight losses. 6 seconds now are on the clock, we're told. There's 4 showing right now. And it's up to 6, so the SU coaching staff was right. There was some confusion when the procedure call went against UMass on the faceoff. Bryce was about to trigger play. Clock ran off when the official had stopped the clock. So it's at 6 ticks, and it's enough time.
That's plenty of time to get a shot off. Plenty of time. Again, maybe we'll see a strong sweep.
Nine.
Going to be Powell
second-year
up top
coach
again.
Greg Cannella has seen quite a game today.
Can he do it twice in a row? Let's have a look. He's going to...
6 seconds. Powell instead passes too high for his man with 3 ticks to go. A turnover as he tried to fire one to Morrissey, and it goes out of bounds with just 2 seconds left. So it looks like we will get an overtime coming up. Kazalakis just fires toward midfield. Powell picks it off. Cool and calm. Casey Powell sends this one in OT. It's 9-9 at the end of regulation. Powell's first goal of the game with just 6 seconds left. Ties it up at 9 apiece. Coach Roy Simmons Jr. talks strategy. We're back with overtime in a moment on the Bryan Lacrosse scoreboard. It's 9-all after regulation. Welcome back, everyone. 9-9 at the end of regulation at the Carrier Dome today. Exciting SU Lacrosse action here on Super Sports. Dave Ryan alongside former SU great Paul Gate, Beth Mowens on the sideline. And here's a look, Paul, at that incredible effort by Casey Powell. No double team by the Minutemen.
Yeah, in this situation, you have a guy like Casey Powell who can beat anybody in the country. You have to send a double, and you have to send it early. That time they waited. He got open right in the middle. He wasn't in tight, but he was still open, and he got a good shot off and tied the game up.
Team switch ends. Look out now, folks. It's sudden death as we go into OT. First team to score wins it. 5 minutes on the clock. Orangemen have first possession. Syracuse 1-1 in OT games this year. A win at Brown in Providence, Rhode Island, and a loss, the big stunning loss a couple weeks back at Rutgers, 9-8. We are tied today, 9-all. Syracuse gets the first crack at it. And this is what College Lax is all about, folks. Exciting, thrilling action today. First for Syracuse to tie it, and now go for the win.
Let's see if they hold on to it and not create any turnovers. You want ball possession, you want to hold on to it.
Casey Powell feeding. Price tries to clear out the shot, cannot. Rebound loose. Shot, score! A score! Rob Calvin has won the game! It's over! Just 44 ticks in. Rob Calvin his 3rd goal of the game, and by far the biggest.
What a fake by Kamovic, though.
UMass turned away a heartbreaking, crushing defeat for the Minutemen, who played so well all day long against the defending national champs. Here's a look.
There it is, the shot's wide here. Picks it up behind, what a fake there. Gets the goalie to leave his feet and then just throws it right underneath him.
Jubilation at midfield. Rob Cavett, the junior. 3rd goal of the game for number 15. The attackman wins it. Final of 10-9. For final thoughts, must be a thrilling scene in the sideline. Beth Mowens.
Well, as you can imagine, Syracuse quite excited about the way this one finished, and UMass, the players kind of walking around in a state of disbelief with just a couple of minutes left. They thought they had this one in hand and really came down to the double penalty. And such a shame for Dennis Kelly because he played an outstanding game today. And that's when Syracuse started to make their move, but UMass, a valiant effort on their behalf today. They played the game they wanted to, just didn't get the goal they needed down the stretch. Dave?
All right, Beth, thanks very much. Good job today down there. So the Orangemen take it, final of 10-9. SU's first lead of the game comes on the final goal of the game. An incredible outing for the Orange as they take a huge victory to move to 9-3. Thanks to the entire Super Sports Adelphia cable crew for a great job all year long for the 96 Lacrosse Orangemen. My broadcast partners for today, Beth Mowens at the sideline, Paul Gate up here in the booth. Our statistician, Bob J, a fantastic job as usual as well. Rob Cavett wins a thriller today. Head coach Troy Simmons Jr. has taken it. Final score of 10-9 in overtime. The Orangemen over the Minutemen. So long, everybody, from the Carrier Dome.
7, 4, 2, 1. Audio video power to blank.